What up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. How you doing on the volume? Finally fitting that our snowflakes are back in season, right? We have our seasonal snowflakes on the chart. Music down a little. Alright, cool. Let me know if that's better. Let me know, Cowboy, I could go down more. Yeah, I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Had some good food. It's better? Okay. Had some good grub and all that good stuff. So yeah, Bitcoin. Up here on the screen, right? So let me zoom in a bit. We had this critical area, right? We've been watching this 58,350 basically. You could see looking back over here, this was held as some critical support, right? Just recently, very recent support. Okay, so because of that, you know, what was once previous support basically now acted as some resistance for us. All right, and obviously we sold off. Okay, so I think the last thing we said in the Discord was basically that Bitcoin had to get above this area right here, and you attempted it. You had a decent shot at it. You had three 12-hour candles, you know, 36 hours of price action pushing to the upside here, and it just wasn't enough. And clearly when that area did not hold, right, when it did not hold as support, that was the end of it, and you just completely sold off. So yeah, that's you know, unfortunate circumstance there. So obviously right now we have to get back above that level, right? Nothing has changed as far as that level is concerned. You know, we must regain the level for continuation to the upside. All right, so let me zoom in a little bit here. If we go to the 4 hour, yeah, it's kind of on this chart. You could see it a little better on some of the other charts, but basically what you had here was X, A, B, C, D. And again, this was much better on like the Coinbase chart. We're just right here on the Binance chart. But you had a little bit of an XABCD pattern in there that kind of just pushed that dump down. It also was, you know, basically how it, let me zoom in. I think it might have actually, just because we're on a higher time frame. Was it lower time frame that we found that? Sorry, I deleted it. I'm gonna have to pull it back up later. But yeah, I mean, the catalyst was definitely right here when we lost this area. That did us in. Okay, so must regain. And right now, as far as high time frame goes, like high time frame's not really looking that pretty. So you gotta use price action as the savior. Okay, price action has to be the savior here, because the oscillators, I mean, we could pull them up here. They're okay, but I mean, nothing standing out. That could still keep dumping. That's not confirmed yet. The RSI looks a little better because you have at least three higher levels of relative strength finally. So you're starting to pivot on the RSI. So that's promising. Okay. MACD, I don't know. You kind of paint this like head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders almost, if you can see it on the MACD. And then now this other level, see if you paint this here, right? And then you paint one more level, because you did have this island separation. So you painted this little bit of positive momentum there. So you could line that up with price up here, and you could say you have 3x bullish divergence, class A. So that's basically, I mean, that's all you got going for you at the moment. I mean, the retrace, it almost wants a little bit more, because if this is the swing high, okay, let's just say this is the swing high. If it is, we got a 50% retrace, which isn't bad. Let's go up a little more. It's about right there. Got a 50% retrace, which it could pivot there, but you know, commonly you would find this whole golden retrace zone, which could get you as low as 50,900. And then of course we can't forget about the deep retrace, right? That would be really bad. That could see 46 to 42. So again, we do not want to see that, and the only way we're going to avoid that is we have to get back above this level. That's the only way we're going to avoid that. If not, that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to fulfill the rest of the deep retrace, of the golden retrace, and then you're going to dump down into that deep retrace, right? So you don't want that. So this right here is what we need. Okay, so we have to get this 58,350 flipped into support. Looking back left over here, the fact that we like trying to be, you know, optimistic here for the bulls, you know, what we wanted was this one to hold. Okay, this was our man, we wanted that one to hold, especially because like it even almost had like this breakout, right? And it was above the 58,350. You got as high as 59.4, and then it just failed. So something promising is if you look back over here to the left, you have this square up. Okay, I'm gonna mark this area in, yeah, whatever, yellow's good enough. So see how we came down and we finally, you could say that you did, I don't know, you pretty much got it on that one, but let's just say you missed it on the November 23rd. Well, we definitely got it on this massive bearish engulfing candle. But either way, the square up has been tagged. The level, has it been swept? Pretty much. I mean, small amounts of it hanging on there. The wick from October 12th has definitely been swept. So, you know, some stops were hunted, a square up happened, you hit a 50% retrace, you're painting 3x class A bullish divergence. It's not the worst, right? But we need the confirmation now, right? This on a higher time frame, this could just be a wick if we can get back above. So we have to. So let's start with the square up. Let's get above the square up. That'll be your first sign. And then let's get above the 58,350 and hold. And if so, we can rally and paint this, like, again, whatever, inverse head and shoulders-esque pattern. End up at this high side up here, 64 to 66. All right. If we can't get above this 58,350 and we run up there and fail, right, that's gonna be horrible. So we don't want that, and we don't want to just, of course, fail right here, right? So that would not be good either. So we need this price action uptrending, starting to paint higher highs, higher lows again. Okay, that's the only way we're gonna hold on here. If not, I mean, just next in the cards, you're probably going to dump to that 50 area, okay? This next square up. And below that, you know, like 47.5. So we don't want to see either of those, okay? Let's go to the Bitcoin dominance chart. We've been watching this for a while. And check in on this, okay? So, again, we painted this hidden bullish divergence, which it's still there, okay? It's still there. And what happened is, at this point, you're turning that into like class A bullish divergence on the back end of this thing. How it painted a new island. See how you got a little bit of positive momentum in there on this little bit of upthrust. And now that you sold back off, you know, lost dominance, you're painting this class A bullish divergence. Okay, so it's not over yet. On the RSI, same thing, class A bullish divergence, where you have higher levels of relative strength and a lower low on price. Okay, so this isn't over, and in fact, some may say we're just painting the next harmonic. Okay, 786 retracement, 1618 basically coincides with our target 55 to 56. Up top. Okay, so that's all good. That's fine. What we were saying about this retracement is if we fib this from the September 11th low to the October 20th high, you can see we basically got a 78.6% retracement on the fibs. Okay, so good. 786, reset things, run again. Okay, so at this point, the purple zone is the harmonic. Look, let me just move it. How about that? So you can see the purple harmonic. We almost tagged the A target, but it's just a little bit higher. We definitely did not tag the C target. So those would be kind of your next local area of interest. And again, at that point, you're going to be like, 1, 2, and that'll be like this third attempt, right? So ideally, third time's a charm, and you break through. And that's why now we're painting this next harmonic that, if we can rally up here and break through and hold here, we can see, this 55% Bitcoin dominance. Okay, so looking at total, we need the money to come back in though if we're gonna get a push like that. Okay, if we're gonna get that kind of a rally, we need more money. Okay, so retail FOMO'd in, we broke out with their money and slowly slowed off and got the break, now the hook, right, the back test. So let's call this, right, the back test. Back is an institution, by the way, in case you guys are ever wondering about that. Okay, got the back tests. Critical area, right? Critical area. What was once September 6th, what was once heavy resistance, and we got a sell-off there, is now being back tested as support. Yes, you're a little below it, but I believe that we are going to have some kind of a rally, and this rally would ideally hold, right? We create some kind of neckline. Jeez, that was a bad neckline. We create some kind of neckline structure here, and we break even, maybe back test that, right, before we breach the previous all-time highs. And this is the area where, Bitcoin's in that 55 to 56% dominance. If we get it, this is how it's going to happen. Okay, what we don't want to see here, right, what we don't want to see here is Bitcoin, not just Bitcoin, but the whole total crypto market cap, right, fail and try again and fail again, right? This would be our bearish scenario. You'd be back testing these previous you'd be back testing these previous $1.8 trillion level. So we don't want to see any of that. Okay, so we must get some money coming in. Okay, looking over at ETH has been our leader this whole time. Okay, nothing has changed here. Yes, we had some selling off. Again, it wasn't even that bad. So on Bitcoin, we sold off 50% of the way. On Russian Ethereum, you barely got a 38% retrace. Now, sometimes that's all you need for continuation, okay? As long as you tag that level and you got it twice. So that can be enough, okay? You don't have to get, if this is uber bullish conditions, and some may be like, well, the previous few days didn't feel uber bullish. Well, of course not, but what about the previous couple weeks, right? So perspective, right? Zoom out. Entry was down here. Back test second entry, right? This could just potentially be a third entry. And just how much is it going to give you, right? So at the moment, again, oscillators here are painting that like inverse head and shoulders in the momentum, right? You could kind of see that right here. See this in inverse head and shoulders? It just like makes these peaks, right? Where you got the left peak point to the peak, the bottom, and then this right shoulder of the peak. And it often with it you find these reversals, okay? So I don't know, we could go back and find some more, but either way, I don't think this is quite over. I think we definitely reset some of the oscillators here, right? And at the moment, again, painting this like definitely on this back one, okay? It may not be a double here, but you know, starting to paint bullish divergence on the RSI. Good to see the momentum shifting on the relative strength, right? So we need to get this back above 50, which is approaching at the blue line, and then from there above 60. So plenty of room to run, right? Plenty of room. All right, for relative strength, look for some kind of like downsloping trendline breakout right there as well. Okay, RSI breakout, we like to call it. Okay, so as far as this goes, we've had this target up here, 54, right? So our little local price action puts us right there at that 54, okay? Where else does that 54 come from? Let's zoom all the way out. Okay, zooming all the way out. We're going to take the entire structure. And you see the 1414 overlaps that same area we just marked. Okay, so zooming back in here, and even one more, never mind. Sorry, I think I meant to move that. There we go. Okay, so that seems to be our zone, right? If we sell off some more, you're gonna end up in this golden retrace zone, okay? Which could get you as low as 35. So we don't want to sell off, all right? In order to hold, it'd be really, really nice to just hold this level that we're already at and kind of forget about that golden retrace zone to the downside. As you can see, this is coming from, looking back left, we hit this square up, right? From 28th of October. So we came down, you know, we ran this up, came all the way back down, partial rise, and then came all the way back down and tagged this square up, okay? So as long as this level holds, you should be okay for now. Again, if it doesn't hold, you're probably going to go right to 35, okay? So if this does not hold, you're going to go to 35. If this does hold, I mean, again, you can see a local little quick square up here, right? So we have a local square up to the high side at 45.12. And you're also going to have, like, again, some down sloping trend line breakout at some point. Okay. So watch for this. All right. So again, you fight this up, maybe you double bottom within here, and then that's your breakout. You slowly back test this, right, all the way back down, and then you rally, and then you finally hold here and rally, and all that ends up happening there is some kind of back test like that, right? So let's see if you can climb the stairs and make your way back up. Again, you don't want to see price below this level. If we do, you probably get 35, right? So price action below here gives 3,500. So we don't want that. It's good to see that the past basically whole day, I mean, I guess this candle still has 9 hours, so let's call that the past 15 hours we've had price action to the upside. So that's good. Good start, right? You gotta start somewhere. And again, you need resets, you need partial declines, right? So this is where I was confused earlier on the Gartley. It's because it wasn't on Bitcoin. I was looking for it on Bitcoin. It's right here on ETH. Excuse me. So what we're talking about is this, okay? X, A, B, and see this B right here, characteristic of a Gartley, 618, right? See this 618 on the B? And then we had the C, 786 to the 886. Really anywhere between 382. Wait, what is it? Between 382 and 886, I believe. And then up here you want 786. You got 746, but you also hit this downsloping trend line, as well as, let me move this real quick. You also had this like upsloping trend line as well. So you hit this like X marks a spot. And we marked that in the Discord. We said, watch out guys, ETH might give a partial decline here. There was a Gartley. If you were a Gartley and you were a target for a Gartley, target 1 would have been the C. Okay. Target 1 would have been the C. And target 2 would have been the A. Well, look at that. You hit target 1 and 2. I don't know if it helps you guys to see it like that. X, A, B, C, D. Went straight up, hit target 1, boom, hit target 2, and now you're selling back off, right? Well, for us, selling back off means we're rising, okay? So X, A, B, C, D, Gartley, targets 1 and 2 tagged, you're it, right? Okay, so let's move on to ETH to BTC. We have our targets, right? We don't want price below, basically, even we're at 4K now, we're at 41, but like we don't even want below 4K, right? But really 3,900 is, you don't want it below any of these points from October 28th over here and October 21st. You don't want it below any of these lows, below the A low, below the low from today. You don't want it below any of that stuff, okay? So we need a breakout, partial decline again, hidden bullish divergence. Can possibly paint somewhere here, okay? We're gonna get a first decline. We don't have to. It could paint up here, right? It could paint up here. But somewhere we want to see some hidden bullish divergence continuation. And then we can see 54 54.50. Okay. ETH BTC. All right, here we go. So again, guys, nothing during that sell-off happened here. In fact, I mean, I guess you had a little bit of a decline, but man, it was just to back test this previous high, right? Just what was once resistance is now break, hooked as support, and now you're going, right? So next we need to get into this zone. If we find ourselves in this gray box here, we're going to be hitting all kinds of targets, okay? The yellow and the turquoise harmonic and the blue harmonic are all going to hit, okay? So pretty sweet stuff will happen in the blue box. And if we can get that, that's where we excuse me, that's where we expect, again, ETH to continue to outperform Bitcoin. Let's look at the oscillators here. We have the hidden bullish divergence on the MACD. It is beginning to play out, or continuing to play out. Again, we'd like to see something like this, okay? Boom. Something like that would be really, really good, okay? 0.077 to 0.082 is in the blue box, and then of course this could go as high as 0.091. ETH to BTC looks good. ETH dominance. We've been watching this one fairly recently. A few traders brought it to my attention in the Discord, and we decided to start following. So on the daily you have hidden bullish divergence, okay, on the daily MACD, and again you're approaching this critical overhead resistance that has just been resistance. I mean, there's nothing, the supply there, right? People offloading ETH against the rest of the market at this point, they're dwindling, okay? Eventually here we're going to see this massive markup. That's an ETH breakout on the USDT and the Bitcoin chart, odds are. And then maybe, yeah, we have this little sell-off all the way back down, hidden bullish divergence, and then we run again, and we see some highs here. ETH as high as 22% dominance on the rest of the crypto market cap. That's why I'm very, very worried about one's alts in this position, because we just looked at this. Bitcoin dominance is already gonna cause havoc, okay? This is already gonna cause havoc, and then on top of that you throw in this ETH dominance chart. It's just havoc upon havoc for alts. I don't understand where there's enough money to push Bitcoin up like that, ETH up even harder, and then still make your favorite shitcoin go up. It just doesn't make any sense. There's just not that much to go around, right? Like, we got to be realistic. We got to be reasonable here. There's only so much money that's going to flood the market. I mean, I get it, blow off top, but still, like, we got to be realistic here, okay? So the alts to me is where the give is, right? Something's got to give. In my book, from where I'm sitting, the alts are what have to give. Doesn't mean they can't go up too. It just means they're gonna drag their way up, okay? For example, we'll move on right here to Litecoin. Oh, look at that. Where do we take profit on one of our targets? Right at the tippy top, November 10th. Since then, we've had a partial decline of 35%, and now we can reload, right? So looking at this on the 12-hour is where we've been following it. Again, you're just kind of back testing this this clustered zone, right? Just this cluster area here. A nice little square up happened. Nothing too crazy here, right? What was once previous resistance area is now back tested as support. Okay, so you're doing fine on Litecoin. It just dumped with everything else, but still, if we look at this as a low, higher low, right? So we're still okay. Higher high, higher high. So now let's continue to paint higher highs. In order to do so, we must break 300. Okay, so maybe you do something like this. You paint some kind of neckline here, break above it, hold above it, okay, and then you could rally up here, and then again hold here, and then rally up to that 350 to 375, and that would be a higher high than 300. Okay, you'd be at this like 350 area, which is a deep retrace, and we've been watching that zone for quite some time. Okay, so that is your Litecoin update. Maker, hanging out at some critical areas here. We've been watching this one for a while as well. So hidden bullish divergence kind of played out, and then just kind of, so you had hidden bullish divergence and then into bullish convergence to the upside. RSI is right at that 60 level, so we need to get back above right here on the RSI for continuation. Okay, so push the RSI up and we can have another rally here. All right, you can see this downsloping trend line that you broke out of, basically kind of failed, but followed through, got back above it. You had this previous high from September 15th, this trend line, horizontal trend line. You're now back testing that as support, so that needs to hold. Next, let's just breach these highs, right? So let's get Maker above these highs, which will put you into the 3600 area and into this golden zone. Once we get into this golden zone, that's when we could start looking for some of these target areas. Okay, so this golden zone comes from fibbing from the May 3rd high to the June 25th low, and you get the golden zone here in green, and the take profit zone, which is our deep retrace up here, marked in the gray box between, I don't know, 54 and 5700. That would be our ideal exit area on Maker if we can get it. Okay, moving along, we have AVEX. Okay, this one looks good actually. You have some hidden bullish divergence, massive amount of hidden bullish divergence here on both the, I don't like that being that color for some reason. Excuse me, here we go. Hidden bullish divergence on both the RSI and the MACD. Higher high on price at critical, back tested some critical of once resistance. November 15th, you just flipped it to support. November the 26th. Okay, so critical area here looks like bit of a downsloping trend line, right, that you might break out of here soon. Put this in white. So possible rally back up, and then you ride this back down a little bit, and then you rally again. Okay, so AVAX looks like we should get some continuation. If we get full continuation on this, it looks like we can put in a new high at 175. Okay, new high at 175. Okay. Moving along, we have 1 inch. So again, look, this area we've had marked, previous August 19th resistance, you just now flipped into support. We have the B high from September the 5th, which is the blue line that we need to reclaim next. Okay, so again, you're just painting, man, not as obvious here, maybe on the daily. Yep, on the daily, 1 inch hidden bullish divergence, continuation to the upside, likely. I mean, you could paint it from whichever low you want. You could paint it from right here, because that would still be you know, a much lower levels of negative momentum with a higher low in price, or you could paint it from the actual island. Either way, that's daily hidden bullish divergence. If you paint it from the closer one, it's technically 3x hidden bullish divergence on the daily. Okay, so on inch you also had a retracement of 786 basically, so nice deep retracement, found support. Okay, so let's reclaim these levels like we said here. So let's reclaim the levels for some continuation. Again, you're gonna have this like breakout here at some point, so watch for the breakout. You got the continuation, and at that point you're gonna start getting, you know, into this golden zone, deep retrace areas. And if you're bullish enough, you know, some of these, you know, up to 10, 28, 10 and a quarter possible. Some of these can still run. I'm not saying alts are dead. I'm just saying ETH looks much stronger. Okay, simple as that. There's no denying it. Doesn't mean it's not going to bring a few select good alts with you, but there's so many. You're talking about 2,000 of these things. I'm only talking about a handful of 20. Okay, so we gotta just understand that. AAVE looks like, again, you're painting some class A bullish divergence on the tail end here. The RSI still hasn't turned. Nothing that clear here on AVE. Better assets out there. Let's move on. Okay, BNB. So you hit this deep retrace. So ideally what would be next would be, if you can get above this deep retrace, right? Get up, reclaim this as support, right? Get above it, even get above 637. That's when we'd see these high side targets, 815, 880, 980. Okay, we had massive amount of hidden bullish divergence. It's kind of started to play out, but then you had the big sell off. So looks like we could still use that momentum. So what we need to do, because you usually don't see like 4x like that, you either need to break above this level horizontally and or down sloping. Almost both, right? So what I mean by that is, you know, getting above one and then getting above the other, and that's how you know, really feel good about things. Okay, use both of them as a double confirmation. Okay, double confirmation. All right, BNB. Ideally you don't want to see price below 500, so we can just go ahead and raise this to 500. All right, Doggy coin. Doggy, man, you had a nice initial reaction. You hit the C and pretty much the A target here on this harmonic, and then you sold off and you squared up. So again, not anything that dramatic, but just goes to show you why you don't want to be an investor here and why you need to be a trader, because a trader would have hit targets and then got a full shot at a full reload. Ideally you're gonna see some kind of pop happen here. Okay, you're wedging in where you got this downsloping trend line. Every time you get to it, you butt up against it, butt up against it, butt up against it, butt up against it. Eventually it's not gonna hold anymore. Okay, you also have this critical level here, previous D low, and almost like, look what you did. Basically, like, this previous D was 823. All you did was get it even closer almost to an 886. You see that? But whatever, because it kind of already played out, right? It already played out. So at this point, it's more just like an area that we regarded as some previous support, right? You had a nice, area that we regarded for like almost a week there, right? So you're back there regarding it as support. Let's hold it, break out, and continue. Okay. Let me go back to dog real quick. Oscillators starting to again paint that inverse head and shoulders-esque. So yeah, let's see if we could flip this positive. All right, moving along to Link. Okay, so on Link, from previous all-time high to low, you hit the deep retrace perfectly, and you got that 618 perfectly. You then sold off. Okay, well, let's get rid of this. We hit the golden zone already. So what did our sell-off do? We sold off 886. Okay, perfect 886. There was also a bit of a square up there, right? Bit of a square up there. Looking back to September 29th, 886 retrace. Oscillators starting to wane. It would be nice. You almost got a double bottom on the RSI, where you painted much lower level of, much lower low on price with equal lows on the RSI and higher levels of momentum, negative momentum on the MACD. So decent at a critical 886 support. Okay, so possible we could get some continuation here now. Now that we sold off, we reset, and this would put us right in that deep retrace zone, because then 886 is now sitting there at $47. Okay, so $48, that's our next area. If we were looking for $48, that would allow us to have a stop 3-to-1 right here, 15. Okay, let's look for that deep retrace between 74 or 44, 47. 44, 47. Okay, FTT. All right, so hit a square up from September 29th and from August the 30th. So that's pretty nice. So those are tagged and out of the way. So for confirmation to the upside here, we need to get above this clear neckline that we're starting to paint and start to regain some of these levels. Okay, so these highs here are going to need to be breached at some point, and of course these local highs from the 20th and 26th need to be broken right away. Starting to paint some, again, like class A bullish divergence. RSI as well, bullishly diverging. Okay, so yeah, I think you're okay here as long as you can get back above this $53 area. Okay, need to get back above that $53 area and we'll be in good shape. All right, what we don't want to do is lose, right, the level that we're at. Okay, that's what we do not want to do. All right, Shiba shitcoin. Nothing's really changed on this one. You got into this 886 deep retrace. I don't know which one is deeper, maybe the second one. This momentum here is looking spicy. Okay, yeah, this is looking pretty good here for reversal. Let's say it started here. Still 4x bullish divergence. Okay, because of that being lower, so we'll start it here. We'll say this on 1, 2, 3, 4 lows on price, higher levels on the MACD, and now we have our tail end RSI bullish divergence. Okay, so this is looking good. You would leave this drawn exactly as is. Stop loss below the X. Okay, we don't want to see 27.43. This is your long entry area. Take a long here. You'd be targeting 7,500 and 8,800 satoshis. Okay. Shiba shitcoin. Gonna make more millionaires. ICP, another one that's back in the buy zone. Okay, nothing has changed here as well. Just getting a nice yet hidden bullish divergence, and now you're turning that into class A bullish divergence on the other side, where you had like these double bottom basically, right? And RSI tail end bullish divergence inside the buy zone. Yeah, looks good. ICP targets remain 77.86. Okay, and that's just getting started. Now I don't know how much. See, the thing is, yes, this is just getting started on this asset, but when Bitcoin and Ethereum hit those targets in turn, I don't think things like ICP are going to hold up on their own. I think you have a window of opportunity here. Get what you can get, and then that's it. Soul. Okay. We've been watching this one. We talked about this. We painted a bearish butterfly with an optimal entry slightly above it. Negative momentum, bearish divergence, 3x bearish divergence. We've sold off. The C target 1 and A target 2 has almost been hit. C target 1 has definitely been hit. Okay, so this harmonic structure has now played out. Yeah, good times. You may actually have, no, too deep. Okay, but you've hit your targets and you're now basically what was once support November 18th. You're regarding again as support here on the 26th. So really, you could come as low as this A target, but you really don't want to see these again. Even 180, okay? What you definitely don't want to see is this, right? 180 start to become resistance. That would be horrible. A small back test here is whatever. Eventually though, let's get up to this square up here at 210. Okay, 210 square up. Maybe you sell off there a little bit, but then you get back above it and you rally up again. Okay, at some point again you're gonna have this, like, just depends where you anchor this, but at some point here you're gonna have this down sloping trend line that you are going to use as a kind of a breakout point. Just depends. I guess we should probably use the closes, and just because nothing seems too official here, let's use those candle closes. That seems to be more legit, especially being that it kind of now lines up with that square up. And again, it's possible that you breach, but then, you know, ride that back down and then rally. Okay, a lot of times that does happen. XRP. All right, XRP still looking for this big Gartley to play out. Painted a slightly lower low here, but you squared up from September the 30th. So it is what it is. XRP cannot hold its own. All right. Again, you probably don't want to see price below 82 cents here. You're sitting at 95. You don't want to see, you know, 82 cents back tested as resistance here. Again, you're gonna have some kind of down sloping trend line breakout. Seems imminent. Okay, so maybe you do it again, but eventually you're going to run into this down sloping trend line and hopefully get a nice breakout pop above it. We're still targeting this $1.64 D786 retrace D short entry target area of a bearish Gartley. German Tezos squared up from September the 22nd, and you hit both your targets. You hit the C and the A target. So on this one, target 1 and target 2. You see that? So let's use those now. Whoops. Let's use these targets now as some kind of support. Okay. Again, similar down sloping trend line breakout imminent. Seem to be just kind of bottling yourself in here. Looking for a spring. Okay. Class A bullish divergence developing on the tail end, so right at the support at the square up. So yeah, looks decent as long as everything else pops. German Tezzies should go with it. DYDX still sitting in a buy zone. You are bullishly diverging. More bullish convergence. It's convenient. It was white. Bullish convergence, bullish convergence, bullish convergence. Either way, momentum shifting. Let's look for a breakout here as well. Okay. So it looks like structure may be bottling up. This wedge. Let's see if we can get, you know, a pop out of this wedge, back test this, and some continuation. We're still looking for $26, $27 on our targets up here on DYDX. Comp. Okay, comp. Nothing's really changed here. Targets remain 462, 540, and 825 if you can get it. It'd be extremely important, you know, obviously, to hit this target 1, but then target 2 needs to hold above target 1, and that's how you can get target 3, right? You got to backtest target 1 as support. Looks like oscillators shifting here as well. 1, 2, 3 times on the MACD. Yep, 3 times where you had a low, lower low, lower low on price. And on the RSI, nothing yet, okay? Nothing yet. But on the RSI, I will tell you that it looks like you're painting a definite kind of RSI breakout possibility here, okay? So if your RSI does this, gets above the 50 area, gets above the 60 area, right? This is what we're looking for on the RSI, complete reversal. That's what we need to see. Ethereum Classic ran the stops, but didn't get us. Still, stop remains where it is, $40. Basically, you're at 47. Basically, you need to get above this midpoint, which is all of your harmonics. That's your first 2 targets. If you can get those and flip that mid-range into support, you can target the range high, deep retrace area, and get that target 3, 122. Okay, so Ethereum Classic remains the same. YFI, looks like you got some class A bullish divergence on the MACD. I don't know if you really got any harmonic action here, but X, A, B, C, 786 cipher. Pretty much, yeah. So we got ourselves a cipher. And looks like if we target the A and C high, that's basically this orange level that we've had marked out for quite some time at 37K. So if we can get back above 37K, we'll hit this cipher's targets, and then we could target the purple zone of the larger bat, 43K to 45K, before targeting even higher prices at around 50K for the aqua harmonic, aqua Batley. Okay, so again, you need to follow these lines. You need to get from here up here, reclaim, right? You need to get up here, reclaim, reclaim, reclaim. FTT, looks like you hit a pretty critical support here from square up from August the 30th, and you're regarding that now as a double bottom here. On the higher low, you have the RSI giving you divergence bullishly, as well as the MACD at the double bottom. Okay, looks like you're also painting a downsloping trendline breakout here at some point. So it would be good here to hold 43ish as, you know, a stop area. You have a pretty obvious kind of neckline here. Get above this, you know, something like this, right? Where you're breaking out of the downsloping trend line and the horizontal, right? First you're doing the first one, then you're doing the second one, and also the downsloping trend line. So if you can do all that, we would have, you know, again, like a deep retrace area, as well as golden retrace, as well as the deep retrace. Not sure why the caps are on. Deep retrace, like that. Okay. Golden zone marked in green. Did you miss Sol? Yeah, but here you go. Sol, we basically said, Cowboy, that we had been watching this bearish butterfly here. We hit the 786. I mean, excuse me, the 1618 golden mean ratio. You had a partial reaction, and then you reacted again, and you hit the optimal entry, which is the slightly higher high that sweeps the 1618 that you sometimes will often get. And from there you came down and you hit the C and basically the A target here of the harmonic, where if you were in inverse XABCD, you rallied all the way back up and hit the targets. Now you're holding above the target, so we basically said just back test these targets, 185, hold this as support. You have a down sloping trend line. Hopefully you can break above that because you have a square up here at 110. So if you can, get to this square up here at 110, break out, back test this down sloping trend line as support as well, then maybe can you see again 237 to 242 on Sol. All right, FTT dot again. Look, we had this big harmonic, okay, massive harmonic. We rallied up, we hit targets 1 and 2, double topped, and then sold off. Okay, so now on the sell-off, we squared up from October the 14th right here. Okay, nice little square up. So it's critical that we first regain the square up, then we have a little square up to the upside here at basically $40. Let's get above that, and then maybe we can get back to this $46, $48 area. Okay, KNC requests. So this one, it looks like you are painting some higher lows here. Okay, continuing to paint higher lows. So it looks like if we can just break above this 2.25 area here and backtest this as support, right? We can see much higher prices here as we fib this from high to low. That'll put us into that golden retrace zone, right? And then maybe even a deep retrace. KNC. Okay, KNC stop loss right now basically like 155, because you're already rallying away from it. At this point, if this fails, you're gonna lose all three of these, right? If that first one fails, you're probably gonna lose it all. So you don't want to be in there anymore at that point. Okay. Next we have Russian NEM, German NEM. I don't know who makes NEM. Maybe Japan. XABCD sold off, hit target 1, not target 2, but you're painting hidden bullish divergence, and you're painting on the backside some pretty good, some pretty good Class A bullish divergence 3 times, right? 3 times. RSI starting to turn. Again, it looks like you might have like a RSI breakout here at some point. So let's see if we can get this like RSI breakout, right? But yeah, looks decent. Maybe that was from the daily. Yes, it was. Hidden bullish divergence was from the daily. Okay, hidden bullish divergence, sorry. Okay, there you go. Hidden bullish divergence on NEM. Could see some much higher prices. Holy jeez. Yeah. This could definitely see a rally. Whoa. You haven't even seen a golden retrace. I mean, that in itself would be massive, right? 262%. I don't know if you're gonna get this. This coin's been dormant for ages, but when it pops, it really pops, okay? So, got a couple critical areas here. You need to get above 21 cents, I'd say, next. So let's zoom in here. And it looks like, again, like you're kind of tightening here, right? Where price really doesn't have anywhere else to go. So hopefully that nowhere else to go is to the upside. And right here, if you can do this one, that's going to be the kicker. Okay? Got to break above 21 cents. All right. Dash. Okay, Dash. Again, you've basically just been holding these areas, okay? So you don't want to lose this area as resistance, right? That would be bad. You don't want to see any of that. No part of that. What we want to see have happen here is regain these support levels, okay? Hit these blue targets of the harmonic and then hit possibly the high point of the bearish bat, which at this point you can see a back test, okay? So Dash looking like this, stop loss. I mean, really, you're probably 145. Whoops. There you go, Dash. Okay. So somebody, in a long position right here, you could have your first target fairly tight, still 3-1. It's not a bad little play with a nice little moonbagger. Okay, that moonbagger is 150%, and it's not even really a crazy moonbag. Okay. All right, Ocean. Whoa, we got a pop from our last update. So we said again there would be some kind of downsloping trendline breakout here on Ocean, as we've been signifying on many of these other assets. For Ocean, we said, regain these levels as support, break, hook, go, right? See this beautiful break, back test, perfect back test, and then the go is going right now. You're up 11.5% on the new day already. All right, so Ocean, we're gonna have to zoom out here and get some targets, but it looks like Ocean has hit the 618. So here's your golden zone, right? This is all your golden zone. So you are just at the top of the golden zone right now. Okay. So if you can get above this area, that's where you can see the deep retrace between 150 and 175. So yeah, ocean looking pretty good here. Again, it's possible that you back test this first before then doing this, right? But either way, you would seem to be heading for higher prices here, being how bullish this asset seems to be at the moment. Okay, it's more bullish than anything else on the list at the moment, the only one in double digits. All right, moving along. VeChain. VeChain, not quite hitting bullish divergence, just local class A bullish divergence, which is still fine. A big bearish bat we got going on here. So again, nothing has changed as far as this is concerned. We need to get back above this level, regain it for continuation. Stop is below this previous C anchor point. All right, so that remains as is VeChain. Okay. Someone taking a long gear would basically look like this: 4-1 on your money. Okay. AXS axis. Okay, last time we checked on this, we said we had this downsloping breakout. We said it's possible that we back test it. That's exactly what we basically just did. Swing low failure pattern where you had a low on price, lower low on price, indecision like Dragonfly Doji. So we had a low on price, lower low on price, higher low on price, swing low failure pattern at a critical support, at a square up. Much lower levels of negative momentum. It's not confirmed yet, but if this turns right here, it's like, man, the old bears couldn't really do anything there as far as the push down. Even with that massive sell-off, look at that momentum. It's like non-existent negative momentum. It's pretty weak sauce. So this shows this asset's pretty bullish. So yeah, I would say that if we can get back above 150 here, okay, if we could climb this back above this 150 and regard this as support, we could see a massive pop here. Okay, what kind of pop? It would be about 195. Okay, so let's see if we can get that. Right now, stop loss basically right where we are. We don't want to lose this level. It's a little tight, so it just, you don't want to do this. Okay, it's almost like the confirmation second one would be your bail. And this would be a target access. Okay, Rune, bearish Batley sold off. Bearish Batley paid out 46%. Hit previous neckline on the dot as support, rallied from there. Momentum shifting, RSI shifting. So yeah, it looks like stop loss at this point could probably be raised at least here, if not all the way. Okay, probably here for now. But yeah, this breakout might use the whole harmonic, right? And again, this could take some time, right? This could test this again before making its way up to the top side, before even making its way to the bottom side again. Partial decline, breakout, back test. Like it could do all this, okay? Just sideways, right? So nothing really crazy here. CRV, we have a harmonic that had a back test that was a perfect square up and is now running again. Never quite hit the target, so it's possible that you still run up and see $6, almost $7. Being hell, you know, there's again, your stop loss at this point would be like down here. This trade, like, it's no longer equitable. You see what I mean? Your risk to reward is a coin flip, 1-to-1 coin flip. Okay, you don't want to trade like this. The entry was down here, the inverse head and shoulders. Okay, where you had a low on price, lower low on price, higher low on price, down sloping neckline, right? Inverse-esque head and shoulders, price action structure, break, hook, and go. Like this, the entry was here, okay? All right. ATOM, possible harmonic here. Thing is, you would need some more selling in order to achieve 886. So this is one where you can set like an alert. Even set it for like just breaching these, right? If you break these lows, if you break this double bottom, right, where you have a low, another low, that in itself would be concerning. So if you break those, odds are you're going to go right into this, okay? And then that would be a much more optimal entry, as well as basically a square up area looking back left, okay? Even if you brought this over, right, just for aesthetics here, it doesn't change anything. Still a bullish bat. And this is where you would get some targets, okay? So see if you can get one more dip. Not sure if you will, but if you can, you know, that'd be where it's at, okay? All right, we're back to Bitcoin. Let's see what happened here. So, pretty good engulfing candle on the new 12-hour. It's been alive for about 3.5 hours. Again, we need to get above 55.2 here on Bitcoin as a start, okay? Let's start reclaiming the previous square up as support, okay? So get above this level and then up here. All right, that's Bitcoin. Let's check ETH to BTC. Again, we're still running up here. ETH dominance, we're looking to break out. Watch out. ETH engulfing above that previous level. Above both of the previous targets here, so watch out on ETH. Once it breaks out above that 20% dominance, feel like you're gonna get some firecrackers here, okay? So cool. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Been about an hour and a half, so call that good for the day. We covered a lot of assets, and I recorded for any of you who missed it. So yeah, catch you guys tomorrow. Duck out. Peace.